Why did I complete a 40-day fast? A question that I'm often asked, to which I respond, it came to me. And I can't say it any better than that. It came to me. I already had the 10,000 hours that I talk about of research that I started back in 2017. And that research was all about internal health, right? I know given time do I talk about weight loss. I've learned the mistakes of the past. It was all about internal health. Well, in that passage of research, I came to understand a lot about cancer. And a lot of the cancer research that I had absorbed in all those years is that those that successfully beat cancer the most are those that combine modern medication with a very healthy lifestyle, right? And I'm talking nutrient dense, plant based, whole food lifestyle. Now, myself, I can tell you that less than 1% of the world population lives my lifestyle, which on February 8th, I augmented my lifestyle to a pure plant based from the seed, basically from the earth or from the waters, from the oceans and that. So seafood type of food or plant based type food. And that's all I eat, right? A very, very select processed food. And I tell people bottled water is processed, for example. So very select. So from that, I also know from research that those that bring their body up to the highest ketosis as possible and the lowest glutamine as possible are those that starve their cancer and those that beat the cancer the most in combination with modern medication. But it's easy to say, but how the hell do you do that? And I just mentioned that I already live an extremely healthy lifestyle, but how do you bring your body up to the highest ketone possible and the lowest glutamine possible? The 40-day fast. The 40-day fast came to me like day in, day out, in my sleep, in my daytime, I started really going deep into the rabbit hole on the 40-day fast. And I've talked about the Jesus and the Moses and the Pythagoras and the Isaiah. However, there's also societies in our world, thousands of year old societies, brotherhoods and sisterhoods, that you cannot get into those societies, into those brotherhoods and sisterhoods, unless you complete a 40-day fast. And that all has to do with the pineal gland, the cleansing of the mind's eye, wisdom, thinking differently. And I'm telling you, you think differently. You have the wisdom that I have and the way that I think today is by far 2.0 version of my old self. And so I did research and it made the old books are right. Basically, the old books are right. And that's why I did it with the select supplements and nutraceuticals. I only did no food, only liquids, which was black coffees, green teas, and water, water, sparkling water, black coffees, green teas, and select supplements, all non-calorie, all non-calorie causing for 41 days. So I basically did 986 hours and 32 minutes, right? And the reason why I did it is, and my blood work and urine work that I was doing weekly clearly showed, and the alerts and the flags were coming in on those biomarkers, that my ketone was the highest it's ever been. And I have 5 years of documented data from biopsies and endoscopies and colonoscopies and blood work, urine work, including feces work, all documented. And I'm talking minimum twice a year. Then it became monthly. Then it became bi-weekly. And I've been doing weekly. So I have 5 years of data on myself. And I've never had my body in the highest ketone as I did in those 41 days. You know, the data speaks for itself. And I did it for those reasons. Now I'm waiting until February to hopefully get another genetic makeup. I just did a full genetics testing right now. I'm going to raise the bar even higher when it comes to my nutrition and supplementation and so forth. Again, the research, I made it my duty to teach while I continuously learn. And I obviously want to beat this cancer, not only as a father and a husband, but to fulfill my duties as a grandfather when they come. My daughters are 16 and 18 respectively. And there'll come a time when they'll need a grandfather around, and I want to fulfill that responsibility. And I want to live a full life, right? And not be subjected to the world of consumption that I was previously subjected to. Because the overwhelming majority of all illnesses are lifestyle born, meaning it's due to consumption. And the data is there. The government data, the private data, the public data, the data is there. It's clear and sound. The overwhelming majority of hospital beds would be empty if people lived a healthier lifestyle. The overwhelming majority of diseases would not exist if people ate a healthier lifestyle. But unfortunately, like the previous Jean-Guy in the past, the consumption of the num, the addictive everything that's out there, the billboards, the TVs, the media, the everything just bombing your brain with junk. And if you look at the definition of food, the definition of food in itself, it talks about nutrient density. It talks about feeding the mind and feeding the body the nutrient that it requires. Think about that. Because I'm going to assure you that the overwhelming majority of the consumptions now that are loaded with, I come from a background of health and safety. We used to talk about occupational illness. What's the difference between occupational illness and consuming food that have dyes and toxicities? And I can keep going on here, but that's what it's called, lifestyle consumptions, right? Lifestyle consumptions are no different than occupational illness. They cause diseases, they cause Alzheimer, dementia, cancers, cardiovascular disease, chronic illnesses, debilitating conditions, comorbidities. That's what the lifestyle consumptions do to you. Just like no different than plumbers, they die of asbestos cancer because for 30 years they've been ripping away pipes with asbestos, right? I just want to say that the 40-day fast came to me. And I was not alone in this whole passage, and especially my day 30 to 41, and the renovation after, because it took me a while to reset my body and etc. and to be where I am today. Now I'm hovering at 235. I was 198 on December 11th. I had lost 42 pounds in 41 days. Between October 31st and December 11th, 42 pounds in 41 days. And I regained all that weight and I balanced out at 235. Now I'm training again. I'm rebuilding. So I want you to think about what I did as you bought a 1960s bungalow. You stripped it down to the framing and to the foundation. You gutted everything. You cleaned it all out. And now you're rebuilding to bring it up to 2024 with modern everything, to the latest in technology, to the latest in code, and to the latest of everything, right? That's what I did with my body. That's why I did the 41 day. I did 41 days to ensure that I did 40 days and 40 nights. So that's why I did the 986, 32 minutes. And I did so because the old books are right. And I did it in combination with modern medication, along with living a very nutrient dense, whole food, plant-based lifestyle prior to and augmented afterwards. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, big, healthy, loving hugs. It's my duty to teach while I continuously learn. Love you guys.